Hi, I'm Wynn. Today, I want to talk about something that really helped me change my mindset. And just to give you an example of what I'm talking about, because just recently somebody asked me these questions this way. So, and it happens often that parents ask me, how can I get my child to go to bed? How can I make my child sit still at the dinner table? Sometimes I think, like, how would you feel if your partner, your spouse came to me, came with you to meet to see me, and he asked in front of you, how can I make her stop, meaning you, how can I make my partner stop yelling? How can I make her serve better meals? How would you feel if it was you and your husband's talking, or your partner, in my case, it'd be my husband, talking about you like that? It seems disrespectful, right? One of my teachers, my early teachers, who I'm going to talk about, she was all about, changing the way we see children, how we treat them. She had such a wonderful way of describing how she saw children, and she held them in very high regard. And we know that in terms of dignity and respect, our children are our equals. I mean, it's true that, you have more information, you have more experience, and you have more power. But the, you know, children are our equals in terms of dignity and respect. And if we're using our power to make our kids do things, it doesn't help you. It makes things worse for you and your experience of being a parent, and it doesn't help your child, because let's say you punish your child if they don't do what you want. So punishment really hurts. It really hurts, you know. Um, well, let's say adults like me, I still can experience that hurt. Like if I make a mistake, I really have a lot of pain, and I have a huge inner critic that says, how could you do that? That was so stupid. You know, it's not good for children to grow up with that. I know that from experience, and you may too. So, how can we change it? How can we change it? Well, I just want to say first, like, I'm so glad that you're here. I really appreciate it. And so I'm going to tell a story about Dr. Becky Bailey, how she used this story to teach, right? By the way, Dr. Becky Bailey is the founder of Conscious Discipline, which has been around quite a long time. I would say at least, I think around 20 years. And, but she really changed it for so many of us. And I was so grateful, and still I'm so grateful for what I have learned from her. It made my life as a parent better, and it made my relationship with my kids better. So the story is, she was a teacher. She had been a classroom teacher, and the story happened in this particular school where the kindergarten class, the easiest way for them to get to the lunchroom was to the auditorium door was right across from their classroom, so they could open that door, go in front of the stage, go out the other door on the other side, and there was the lunchroom. And inevitably, three or four kids would, instead of going in front of the stage, they would go up the steps to the stage and would cross over the stage, go down the steps, and then go out the door. And it wasn't that safe, for one thing, and because these were just kindergarten kids. And so the teacher wanted them to stop doing that. And for 6 weeks, she tried everything. She took away their recess. She used all the tools in her toolbox of rewards and punishment, and they didn't work. And she was really discouraged. And she told Becky Bailey this story. And Becky Bailey said, well, I can help. And so, sure enough, Becky Bailey and the teacher went into the classroom, and Becky said, I really want us all to work together to solve this problem. And the problem is that, we want to go all together into the auditorium and walk in front of the stage and go out that door. Now, some kids are going up the stairs and across the stage. So, how can we work together? How can we solve this problem so that everybody is working together we go in, you go in the door, and then as a class, you go right in front of the classroom and you go out the other door. And she defined the problem, right? And then she said, can you help? And oh yeah, well, let's brainstorm all the solutions. And even the teacher was involved, their teacher. So they brainstormed all these solutions, and there were some really reasonable ones. And then Becky Bailey went to the next stage, and the next step is, okay, let's pick out the solution. Let's vote on the solution that we think will work the best. And she couldn't believe the solution. This is the solution. The kids decided that the solution was get a pillow from the play area in their classroom, take it with them, put it on the step, and then go in front of the stage out that door in the auditorium. And then after lunch, and they're coming back in, the same person would pick up the pillow and bring it back to the classroom. So now they've got a new job, the pillow carrier. And so that's what they decided. And she said, okay, let's go for it. We'll try it. And then she set aside a time when they'd come back, like 2 weeks later or a week later, I don't know, something like that. And then they would evaluate how this solution went. And guess what? 6 months later, the teacher came up to Bailey, Dr. Bailey, and said, thank you so much. That was a great solution and it's still working. You know, when kids are part of the solution, they are more committed to the solution. It's a great model. I've used it many, many times with my kids. Still do sometimes with my adult kids and my grandkids too. Like, how can we solve this problem? Let's work together, And so, I can share more stories about that if you'd like. But for now, I'm just so glad you're here. And until next time, I want to say, be kind to yourself and be kind to your children. Bye for now.